Welcome to Raven's Scare School, where I, Ghost Dragon, will be your host and act as instructor as we guide our brave student Purple Raven, or just Raven for short, through the terrifying world of horror games. But there's a catch. Raven won't know what game she'll be playing each day. That's right, each episode will be a surprise, carefully chosen to ease her into the scares while we slowly ramp up the intensity. Now, we're not throwing her into the deep end yet, at least not right away. This Scare School curriculum is designed to ease Raven into the world of horror, starting with the creepy and unsettling before we dive into the heart-pounding, nightmare-fuel territory. It's all about testing how she handles the fear as it gradually creeps in. Now, each episode, Raven will be evaluated on 3 key things. Fear factor. How much did the game scare her, and how well did she manage those frights? Puzzle solving. Can she think clearly and solve puzzles while under pressure? And survival skills. Did she manage to make it through the horrors, or did the monsters get the best of her? And remember, Raven has no idea what's coming next, so her reactions will be as raw as it gets. Now, as we move forward, the scares will get bigger, the puzzles trickier, and the monsters, well, let's just say they'll be much harder to escape. From abandoned asylums to surviving against relentless creatures, Raven will be pushed to her limits, and I'll be here guiding her through it all. Will she keep her cool when the atmosphere is eerie and slow building? Or will she break down when we throw her into something like Resident Evil 7 Biohazard or Alien Isolation? Time will tell. But no matter what, it's going to be one thrilling and terrifying ride for all of us. So join me, Ghost Dragon, as we see how Raven fares through each terrifying lesson. She may not know what game she's playing next, but she'll find out soon enough. Welcome to Raven's Scare School. Let's see if she graduates with her nerves intact. Welcome everyone to tonight's episode of Raven's Scare School. In tonight's episode, Raven is going to be playing The Park, where she's going to enter an old, rundown amusement park looking for her missing son. As soon as you explore the eerie park and its attractions, strange and unsettling things begin to happen. The early gameplay is really going to focus on exploration and kind of slowly building up the tension and slowly revealing the deeper story about what's going on with this park. All right, 45 minutes is on the clock. Again, this is getting into the longer gameplay now. Let's rock and roll.
Okay.
Gotta love it when the games come with warnings like that, right?
Yeah.
I always return to Atlantic Island Park.
Alright, 45 minutes on the clock.
Okay.
Where's Mr. Bear?
I haven't seen Mr. Bear, Callum. Stay in the car and go and ask information.
Okay. I'm in control.
Yep.
But I can't run.
Attention, patrons. The park is now closed. Please make your way to the car park at your earliest convenience. Employees prepare the park for shutdown.
Like you can examine that plaque. Left click.
Callum,
There we go.
on the day this place opened. This is his favorite place in the world.
Okay. Ooh, this takes place in the 70s. Well, I guess early 80s. No, not that. There we go. Okay. There's information.
What?
Are we tripping?
Maybe.
Lorraine. Lorraine. Don't blame yourself, Lorraine. People lose things all the time. Take a deep breath. Think about the last place you saw your son's teddy bear. Hey, stop! I think your boy just ran into the park. I'll unlock the gates for you.
Okay.
Wait for Mommy, Callum!
This way, Mommy.
We're like at Universal.
It is a lot like the, what do they call it, a star escalator or something?
Between the real world and the world of whimsy within. On this side, the apathy of our everyday lives. And on the other, anything we might dare to dream. It's no wonder Callum ran back inside. I wouldn't want to leave either.
Attention employees, the park is now closed. Have a safe journey home.
That seems decidedly unsafe. Where'd the kid go?
For Mommy, Callum! Oh, God. The park.
Now I can run.
What happened here?
There's...
Can't catch me.
Wait, Callum!
Apparently I can't run as long as my kid. Carrie Killian is Satan's Oh, I don't want to say that. Carrie Killian is Satan's paid entertainment.
Paid entertainment. Hey, at least you're getting paid, right?
Wait for Mommy!
Over here.
Oh,
I think this belongs to Callum.
You should know your own kid's shoe.
maybe it's a popular shoe that all the kids are wearing. Oh, something to examine?
Chipmunk, huh? Just a drunk guy in a suit.
Chad the Chipmunk, worst in class. Chad can't even seem to pass. Chad gets angry, likes to fight. Chad is whoa. That's still. I'm not saying that. That's no.
Come back.
Catch me, Mommy.
Callum!
Come on, this way.
That did not sound good.
Callum, come back here right now! Callum, stay where you are!
Where is he?
Come on, Mommy.
Maybe you went in the ride. Looks like there's a boat pulling up just for you.
I may regret this. I can't control the speed of the swan.
No. That's okay. You don't need to have control in a horror-themed game, right?
Mostly it's
not
just
like
going slow and I'm impatient.
Near a great forest, there lived a poor woodcutter, his wife and his 2 children. A boy named Hansel and a girl named Gretel. They were very poor and had very little to bite or suck. What will become of us? The woodcutter asked his wife one night. I tell you what, husband, we will take the children into the thickest part of the forest tomorrow and abandon them there. No, my wife, I cannot do that, said the man. Then we will all 4 starve, you fool. Hansel and Gretel overheard their parents talking, and Gretel began to weep. Do not fret, Gretel, Hansel said. He crept out of the hut and gathered white stones from the ground to fill his pockets. The next morning, the woodcutter leads the children into the forest.
Not a
Before
raccoon?
they leave, their
Or
mother
a chipmunk
gives them
or
a slice
something?
of bread and warns them that they will get no more food. Clever
I'm
Hansel
sure that's fine.
white stones behind them as they pass into the woods. When their father leaves them, the children wait a while, then follow the
You're
trail
like, I'm just not gonna look at
to
it.
the house. After receiving a thorough scolding from their parents for getting lost in the woods, the children are sent to bed without any supper. Hansel tried to sneak out and collect more white stones, but found that the door was locked. Tomorrow I will take them into the woods myself, the wife told the woodcutter.
There you go. Got a little burst
In
of
the
speed.
morning, their mother gave them a slice of bread and led them deep into the forest once again. Hansel broke his bread into pieces and left a trail of breadcrumbs to lead them safely home. But hungry-eyed birds snatched up the breadcrumbs and his trail was destroyed.
No offense, this is one of my favorite fairy tales, but
Abandoned by their parents. And unable to find the trail home, the children...
You're trying to look for a trace of your kid because he clearly went on to this ride. So, maybe there's like another shoe or something.
The children stumbled into a clearing with an exceedingly strange house. Its walls were made of gingerbread, and its windows were panes of clear sugar. Hansel, desperately hungry, ran forward and began to nibble on the walls. Nibble, nibble, little mouse. At my house! An old woman emerged from the house, sniffing the air and peering around with cloudy eyes. Oh, you dear children, who brought you here? Just come in and stay with me. No harm will come to you. But Hansel and Gretel stayed back, for the old woman reminded them. Come, children, don't be afraid. I have something for you. The old woman offered them 2 enormous lollipops. The children took them and began to eat. You see, nothing to fear here. Come inside. The old woman urged, and the children...
the boat is barely moving. Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Once inside the house, the old woman changed. She stuffed Hansel into a cage and put Gretel to work, sweeping and cleaning her hut. Your brother will make a good mouthful, the old witch told Gretel. Once he is fattened up
I want to turn around and see what's behind me.
upon him.
Oh, you don't need to know what's behind you.
Time passed.
Not in a horror game.
Hansel refused to eat, fearing the day that the witch would eat him. The witch, for her part,
Looks like the end is near, though.
"Today I will cook and eat your brother, Gretel. Climb inside and light the oven." But Gretel pretended not to understand. "I do not know how." "Fool," the old witch said. "The opening is here." And she moved to show Gretel. Seizing her courage, brave Gretel gave the witch a shove, and the old crone tumbled forward into the oven. Gretel slid a large iron bowl. Gretel freed her brother Hansel, and together they lit a fire beneath the oven. And though she screamed and begged, the children sat by the oven.
Okay, so we didn't find the kid, and we wasted a whole bunch of time.
Children can't survive on sweets. They divided up the body of the old witch and ate her.
Yes, lovely.
It'd be really weird if that head of the swan started to turn around.
That's creepy.
I'm sure that's perfectly normal. Maybe it's just an effect to make sure that you actually enjoyed the ride.
As we approach the dock, please keep your hands and feet inside. Let me out.
Looks like you got an
Okay, that was a
achievement.
complete waste of time.
Callum, stay where you are.
Mother duck said quack, 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 quack.
And all the ducks came waddling back.
I used to read it to Callum when the electricity was shut off. Those poor children. The whole world against them. The forest, the birds, the old witch, even their own parents. I used to imagine that Callum and I were the kids in that story. Not mother and son, but brother and sister.
That's not healthy.
Hand against the unkind world. We were always hungry, looking for our own house made of candy, looking for the sweetness that could take the pain away. Hunger leads people to desperate, terrible places where the tree branches reach like claws. Where did you go?
Catch me, Mommy.
Stop, Callum! Callum, stay where you are! Mommy needs to see you, Callum. Another accident. This place. Come out, sweetie.
You can interact with the car.
What?
There was a thing you could do to interact with the car on the other side.
Oh. Despite the constant interruptions to work, Atlantic Island Park will be opening on time. The governor is booked to cut the ribbon, so the only real question is whether we will have any customers. I'm not truly worried the customers will come out of simple curiosity. I deduced what was needed from the banned writings of Archie Henderson the Fourth's astonishing. Oh, it's astonishing to think that a resonance of positive emotions can be used to fuel such a process. Henderson himself chose to use negative, and that caused some of the taint that still lingers in this place. I will not make his mistakes. Very soon I will know if this has been for nothing. I hope that's not Callum's teddy bear that's all trash like that.
With a knife in its eye. Huh?
Stay where you are.
You
I
can
wonder
run.
if I need better headphones? Because it's supposed to give you directional clues, and it doesn't sound like...
Callum!
Oh, I'm hearing it directionally.
I'm not.
Oh.
Can't really climb up there, can I?
I think you just need to follow the path.
where'd you go?
Yeah, like I hear him whisper to the right.
Callum, where are you?
Catch me, Mom.
This old thing used to make the blood run to my head.
What's the
Makes me dizzy.
report?
The guy just snaps.
Remember, you can right click to read it, make it a little bit clearer.
We were waiting for our turn on the ride, Frank, me, and the boys. This fellow in the chipmunk suit is making an ice carving while people took photographs. Lawrence wanted to go over to him, but I've always been a bit wary of those suits. They give me the creeps. Anyway, the chipmunk man, he was carving and picking away at the ice, and at first we thought he was making some animal, like a tiger or lion. But as more and more ice fell away, when you first looked, it was like a human face smiling out of that block of ice. But the more you looked at it, the more you saw that there was something not quite right about the proportions. Something unnatural that made your heart begin to beat just a little bit faster, like you were prey, and that thing in the ice was a hunter. But then these teenagers walked up, and one of them made a face at the carving and said something rude to the guy in the chipmunk suit, and then, well, he went berserk. For a few moments, it was chaos. Everyone was running away from the guy who had one of the teenagers on the ground, and he was stabbing with the ice pick, and blood was spraying, and people were screaming, and Frank and I had the kids, and we were dragging them away as fast as we could. And the last thing I saw, before Frank dragged me away, was that the eyeball of one of those poor kids had landed on the ice sculpture, making the horrible creature look more or less alive.
Well, that's creepy.
Yeah.
Callum, tell Mommy where you are.
Hey, now I hear Callum to the left, the little humming. He must be on the ride. Oh, there's a little bubble.
I can't get on while it's moving.
Maybe go in the booth? I'm sure Callum's in one of those cars.
There
And
weren't
he'll
any other
just...
buttons.
Can you hit escape for a second?
I can't get on while it's moving.
Can you hit escape for a second?
Oh,
Let's go to settings. Just make sure the video quality is smoother. So let's go to settings. Video settings. And let's do display quality instead of auto. Let's drop it down to less. Let's put it medium. That's fine. That should make it nice and smooth. Hit apply.
oh shoot! I don't think it applied. Yeah. Apply. Back.
Cool.
Continue.
That's a little smoother.
Thought I was gonna stop.
It looks like it's slowing down. Do you want to see if you can hold the thing down? Oh, there it goes. Maybe. Oh no, it's still kind of... Oh, maybe it's the last minute little bouncies. Is Callum in any of the cars?
Callum?
I don't think he's here.
Hello?
I don't hear the kid.
Yeah. Oh, what's that?
There was something to examine.
Oh, I remember this.
You look thrilled.
Callum, where did you go?
What was that?
Well, doesn't look like you can cross there.
No, I'm not gonna read this page.
Callum?
What is that? Can you read it?
Okay. Well, I don't know. It's not letting me click on it now.
Maybe you
guess
have to
not.
wait. And I did hear Callum behind you when you were trying to read that, so maybe he is still at the octopus.
Don't hide from me, Callum.
Maybe you have to hold down the decreased speed thing.
What?
Maybe you have to hold down the decrease speed thing in the booth
Okay.
to like get the ride to completely stop.
It doesn't let you hold it down.
Oh,
Oh, but there you go. I'm your ride, your stupid ride.
oh, there you go. You get to, have a fun little ride.
Can't see inside the booth.
Oh. That's unusual.
Whoa!
I'm sure that was nothing.
Come to mommy, Callum.
It sounded like he was to the right.
That right or like this right?
Treachery hides in thoughts.
I think it's this way.
Treachery that lashes like a whip and scars our insides. The first time I saw Callum, my thoughts betrayed me. I looked down at this wrinkled, red, bawling thing and I thought, is that it? We build our world from expectations, and the world that I had built for Callum was no different. He was so real, so there, and so far from my expectations. And they shattered, and as they fell in pieces, that one treacherous thought became a new foundation. All of the love that we shared, all of the warmth and goodness that followed, built on a single traitorous thought.
Man, you're cheerful. I thought working in the park for a summer would be a lot of fun, but the end of season here really drags. There aren't that many tourists around, and so most of the staff spend their days standing around gossiping. And most of that gossip is about Chad. I mean, Steve. See, even I am starting to call him Chad, and I went to school with the guy. It's that goddamn suit. In the beginning, it was a laugh. Steve, the local lush, as Chad the chipmunk, child-friendly mascot at Atlantic Island Park. Lock up your daughters and all of that. But the more he wears that suit, the weirder Steve is getting. At first, it was little things, like refusing to change out of the suit at work and taking it home with him every day. But then I saw him at Susie's diner, still wearing it, and it wasn't even a work day. Some of the staff complained, discreetly, to park management about the smell, and I saw him walking and talking with Mr. Winter, the owner, one day. But nothing seems to have changed. The suit still smells like a carcass whenever Steve walks by, and apparently Steve has picked up some new skills since the last time I saw him puking up in a gutter outside the cycle station, because he sure as hell can carve a mean ice sculpture. Those shapes he makes in the ice, though, they give me the creeps. Steve came by the booth today. Lucky me! And he just hung around for a while. I couldn't really tell because of the suit, but it seemed like he was just staring at me, sizing me up, eye-fucking me, whatever he was doing. I asked him what he wanted, and he just stood there, not saying anything. Eventually, I called my supervisor, and when he came by, Steve wandered off. My supervisor told me to put everything in writing, so here it is. Also, I quit. I don't want to see that chipmunk suit ever again. Laura Henman. I'm gonna walk over here.
Like, I'm just gonna walk away.
Sweetie.
This way, Mommy.
Oh, definitely heard him in front of
Well,
you.
should I do something?
I don't think you can go in there.
I can't see in here and I don't have light.
Callum.
I don't think you can go in there.
Quack, 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 quack.
Oh.
I'm
he's-
sorry, what did you say?
I guess you can't hear me very much. Sorry. I said that you can't really go in there, so it's best to just kind of keep trying to find Callum, which sounds like he's through this
Okay.
arch.
I think you're talking too fast.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's creepy.
Remember, you can run. There you go.
Back, Callum.
This way, Mommy.
Constant crashes and 80s music. Guess it floats someone's boat. Callum! Where did you go?
Looks like you need to head toward that bubble.
Head towards the bubble.
I think it's where you have to go through the ride queue. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Looks like there's light over there. Definitely to the left. I heard him.
Is that just supposed to be like... Alright. During the transport of the bumper cars into the arena, one of the straps attaching the load to the truck came untied, causing a cascade of bumper cars onto Francis, who was standing directing the driver. Francis was crushed by the weight of the cars. Francis was killed. Supervisor comments. Dexter, the truck driver, claims to have seen someone on the back of the load undoing the straps. Nobody else reported seeing that. The sheriff has requested that Dexter provide them with urine samples. Double checking of the straps after transit should be mandatory, and drug screenings for all drivers. The unsafe conditions have not been corrected. The local laborers are very superstitious, and this hasn't helped. Some of them are refusing to return to work until we have someone from the local church walk the park and exorcise the bad spirits.
Callum, where did you go? Stay where you are. It's a matter of public record that I am a failure as a mother. Once, when Callum was very small, I left him asleep in the car while I ran an errand. Don't even remember what it was. When I came back, the sheriff was standing next to the car, watching my boy through the window. I didn't like what I saw in his eyes. Judgment. He wrote me the ticket without saying a word. Just the scratch of his pen on the notepad. When he gave it to me, our eyes met. I know what you're going through. My daughter, Helen, she just gets some help. Help was a bolt of lightning. Help was 1,000 volts surging through my veins. Help is agony. I'd rather die. I wanted to scream. I'd rather you pulled your gun and shot me. But instead my mouth said, yes, Sheriff.
Is there a piece of paper on that table?
Continue delayed by the incompetence of the builders. Blah blah blah. Okay, so it's all right. There's kind of two stories going on here, like her story, which I'm kind of, I don't know if I'm feeling. I don't know enough to be sympathetic towards her.
Yeah.
And then this mystery with why the park is all jacked up.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Let's see, what can I do in here? Decrease speed.
I think you might have to tap it a couple times.
Oh, okay.
Maybe one more? That looks about right.
Okay. I guess we're gonna ride the Ferris wheel. Maybe Callum's dead.
It's an interesting thought.
Because at the beginning, they were talking about him being born in 1977. So if he's like, let's say even 6,
Your life for a reason.
that would be 1983. But then she was making comments about 80s music from the bumper cars. So maybe he's dead.
Things were different for Donna.
Maybe.
When we met, I was sweeping the floor at Susie's diner. He came in with some workers, but he didn't try to flirt or cop a feel like the others. He just ordered a coffee and sat there, watching me. When my shift was over, he offered to walk me home. I don't know how to describe that walk. We talked and laughed and eventually kissed. It felt like love. It felt like a fairy tale. I can't tell you if Callum was made that night or one of the ones that followed. But I think it has to be that night. That one perfect night. Dawn and I moved in together, but then, well, he died. According to the supervisor, his safety harness failed when he was working on the top of the Ferris wheel. Dawn was there one moment, and then gone. Sometimes people leave your life for no reason. I was 3 months pregnant with Callum. Fairy tale fucking over.
Yeah. Mental breakdown, and she thinks that she brought the kid to the amusement park. And she probably did when it was actually working.
Whoa, what was that?
There's somebody in the booth. And I think she's like hallucinating, like that he's there. I think she hallucinates the sound of his voice and stuff. Or that he's a ghost, but either way, I don't. Why can't I walk? Because I'm pushing the wrong button. Okay.
I was like,
All right.
I don't know, why can't you?
Where is that baby sound coming from?
I think it sounds like it's to your right.
Where are you? Callum?
Yeah, straight ahead somewhere. Maybe the Ferris wheel car?
Take the roller coaster ticket. Okay. Like, and I think she had a breakdown after her kid died, and they put her in an institution, and that's where she experienced the electroshock therapy.
Seems reasonable.
And either she's escaped.
Stop hiding, Callum.
Touch it.
A lot of people idolize their children. You hear them talking about their kids and just the way they talk, their fucking voices make me want to vomit. My angel likes to read, and little Johnny is so good on the piano. Fuck those people! You give up 9 months of your life carrying them, you traumatize yourself giving birth to them, and then you spend the rest of your life as their slave. Wiping asses, mopping up piss, feeding them. Little life-sucking monsters who take and take and take until... we all go insane. Any parent who pretends otherwise is just dishonest. That's called choice supportive bias. I am honest. Callum really grinds my gears, and he owes me everything. Everything. It'd serve the little fuck right if I just abandoned him.
Yeah, she's not a sympathetic character for me.
It's understandable. She definitely has her issues. Oh, there's a green light on the roller coaster.
I always wanted to ride this one. Never got around to do it before.
Is there a creepy dude in here? Yep, there is. Look at that.
Oh, what was that? Can you turn your head?
No.
Is there someone in the car with you?
I don't know. I can't see.
Looked like there were hands on the bar next to yours.
Which has him now? Has both of you. No happy ending here, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's a different person's hand.
I really hope she didn't kill her kid.
I'm not playing anymore, Callum!
Oh, flashlight.
There we go. I'm looking for a flashlight.
The witch awaits.
Can I have the hatchet? I feel like I need the hatchet. Guess not.
Callum? Callum!
Don't let him take me.
Callum has bruises on his arms, finger marks. Someone has been hurting him. I've asked him, demanded really, to know where he got the marks. But he doesn't want to answer me. Something has scared him into silence. He doesn't dare talk. He's been changing too. Something sinister lurks in the darkness behind his eyes. I catch him staring at me at odd moments. In the night, he tosses and turns and cries out words that I cannot understand. When I try to soothe him, he snaps and bites at my fingers. I think he wants to talk to me. I think he wants to tell me. But they are watching him every minute of every day. They are whispering to him in his sleep, changing him. They are taking my baby away from me. I can't save him. And there will be pain. But I love him, and in the end, You will understand why.
Oh, she's so crazy.
Keep them away from me.
Well, you are coming up on your time. So, it's kind of up to you whether you want to continue or not.
Okay.
What was a newspaper?
Not especially.
You want to finish up with the newspaper article or whatever that is?
Somebody else probably died.
I was shocked by that one. Never found out who did it.
Yesterday evening. Oh, shoot. And it doesn't let you go back if you hit the button at the wrong time. It doesn't let you read it again and pick it up. That's one thing I don't like about that, about these mechanics. How do I use the flashlight? There's a bunch of teddy bears.
You might be able to check the controls, or sometimes it's just F.
Yeah, I tried that. It didn't work. Cotton candy. That's just a sign, right? There's nothing over here.
I can help you, Callum.
Can I push through this gate? Nope.
This isn't a game, Callum.
What's at this one that's lit up? Pickled punks. Can I go in here? No? No? Okay. Well, if we're at time, I'm kind of good with just calling it.
All right. All right, so you hit your time, and I know you said that Lorraine, the main character, the protagonist here, wasn't that much of a sympathetic character for you, but there were a couple of creepy things, and some unsettling atmosphere, and some other things that kind of set the stage for more of a deeper story. But how'd you feel about the game overall?
It moved a little slow for me. I don't know what. Like, I liked the whole concept of you ride on a ride and you get more information, but there's nothing to do on the ride. There's no puzzle to solve. You're just sitting there. So it's kind of slow, from that perspective. And yes, there were creepy things in it, but so far I wouldn't say anything was scary. It's definitely, at least so far, more of a psychological thriller. But I still feel like they need to do something to make Lorraine more sympathetic, or I'm not going to play it out because I don't care about the character.
Yeah, I agree.
Once I came to the conclusion that the kid is probably already dead, I really don't care. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it can appeal to some people's need to solve the mystery and be like, I need confirmation that he's actually dead, or something like that. And there's obviously the thing that you touched on about how there's kind of the two stories happening, where you've got Lorraine's story with Callum, and then you've got what's with the creepy stuff happening at the park. This isn't normal for a theme park to have all these accidents, and to have somebody who's obsessed with staying in the chipmunk costume, and all this other weird stuff that's going on at the park. You had shown an interest in some psychological thrillers, so I was like, well, let's try to put one on the list for you. So this one does continue on. It does kind of give you a nice resolution. There's a lot more depth to this story, but it is something that kind of starts off a little bit rough, just because, you know, you're like, wow, she's such a Debbie Downer, man. She's like, wow, she hates her kid so much, and you know what? Jeez, man, give the kid up for adoption if you're really so pissed off at having a kid. You know? But you can tell that there's kind of that conflict, that she's like, you know, while she's complaining about this kid, she's also doing everything she can to go search for this kid. And you know, clearly, like kind of where we ended the stream today, that you know, she was like, well, there's something wrong with him. You know, there's, you know, he's trying to bite me, and you know, like, is there something else going on with this kid? Like, what's going on? So it's, you know, supposed to kind of touch on that, like, I need to solve the mystery kind of vibe. But you know, yeah, definitely in the beginning, this is something where it's like, oh my god, chick, you know, you're such, you know, better living through chemistry. Come on, go talk to somebody, you know. But again, if this is something in like the early 80s, you know, like, yeah, they didn't really stop doing lobotomies that long ago, so you can kind of understand that the state of mental health care, especially in America, not so great. But yeah, I agree that the game itself is kind of intriguing with all of the, you know, going on the rides and kind of getting additional details and things like that. But yeah, I can definitely understand where you're coming from about like, I'm kind of on the fence about whether or not I care about playing this game any longer. This one is one of those games where people either love it or they hate it. They like, you know, it like, you know, kind of hits an itch that they, you know, need to solve the mystery. And so they see it through to the end, especially because this isn't a very long game. You could technically finish this in one sitting. I think it's only maybe 3 or 4 hours long. But like, there is a lot more depth to it, and especially when you start doing the roller coaster, where you can see that there's kind of that split screen happening where, am I on the roller coaster, am I in a hospital? Oh wait, the hospital's all weird and messed up, and you know, it's not like a normal hospital. Or maybe I'm being rushed into an emergency room or something like that. Like, you know, there's all kinds of weird twisted reality happening. So again, this one was more of a, you know, trying to follow things that were stereotypical horror, like go toward the light, follow the little trail that that's being laid out in front of you to follow, and also to kind of introduce you to like just distorted reality, and how horror games especially will use that as a tactic in their games to kind of unsettle you, because you're not sure what is real and what isn't. Like, is this the real, or is that the real, or, you know, is it really this kind of weird mix of the two, or something like that? What's going on, you know, to kind of just keep you unsettled and not really know which way's up, kind of a thing. So again, that was sort of the purpose of this one. This is, again, a very short game, relatively speaking, when all things considered for horror games, but just enough to kind of dip the toe into that kind of distorted reality, dystopia type situation. So, all right. Well, I promise that the next one that you're going to do is going to be far more interesting than this, and it will not really take long at all for you to get into the things that are relevant to the story. So, basically, it's going to be part of a series. It's another well-known one, but you will be doing a demo of it. So it's going to be something that just immediately drops you into the action. Similarly, it'll be different than Resident Evil Village, like you did before. It's going to be far more interesting for you, I think. So, all right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us on the latest episode of Raven Scare School, and stay tuned for tomorrow for our next installment. See you then. And that's another lesson complete at Raven Scare School. Today, Raven faced her fears head on, tackling whatever horrors came her way, whether within her own mind or with jump scares and horrible beasts coming at her. Whether she overcame the challenge or had a few close calls, every experience is bringing her one step closer to mastering the art of survival horror. We tested Raven on her fear factor, puzzle solving, and survival skills, and I've got to say, she's making some serious progress. But how do you think she did? Let us know what you thought of her performance down in the comments. Next time, Raven won't know what's coming, but the scares will only get more intense as the school curriculum winds on. Will she rise to the occasion, or will the fear finally get the better of her? Only one way to find out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you can follow Raven's journey through Scare School. And as always, stay spooky, and we'll catch you next time. Geek out and geek.